The entrepreneur that's with us today is Maemu Maphutha. She is the founder of Bellas Gelato. So welcome to the conversation.
Don't allow to stay down. Get back on your feet.
Sure.
And also go back to the foundation and check what is it that I can improve. What is it that I can also introduce? Don't only focus on creating a great product.
Yes.
Also focus on sales.
Yes.
Don't neglect marketing. Even in those times when the business is very slow, but still stay visible. Be visible on social media.
Okay.
What I've noticed now is that people buy from the people they know.
If you think that a business will be made because you've got a great product, you haven't started in business.
That is
You know, a lot of times from the outside, one will think if I can just get the right product and the perfect type of product, then I'll have the perfect type of business. And as you've spoken about it, to be in business, maybe that's step number one, if at all. It's not even the most important, actually. Sales, marketing,
yes.
being visible, being open to partnerships.
Hi there, monetizers. Welcome to Monetize Your Business podcast conversations in partnership with FNB. This is the best place for you to come to get entrepreneurial conversations, insights, as well as to hear from subject matter experts. I'm really looking forward to today's conversation because we're going to have a really phenomenal entrepreneur with us, someone that we've actually experienced their product, which is really, really exciting. But of course, before we get into that, you know how we do over here. I am not flying this plane on my own. I have my trusted co-pilot with me, Papa Biz. Hi.
Hi, yes, it's been a while, but it's good to be back. I'm looking forward to this.
Yes, I'm also looking forward to the conversation. And I feel like it's also a time of the year where one is very reflective. We've reached the midpoint of the year. And it's a time when you kind of look at, how has my year been going in the first 6 months? And what can I do in the next 6 months to either amplify what's working well or turn things around for the things that are not working well? I just want to tap into that brain of yours a little bit in terms of what your thoughts are around the midpoint of the year and how we approach it.
Yeah, no, it's a good theme that we're having this month, just to be able to touch on those aspects. And it actually takes me back. It was a recent book that I finished. It's E-Myth Revisited. Obviously, it talks about the importance for entrepreneurs to move out of seeing themselves as a technician and as a business owner. So stop seeing yourself as the person who just does the nails.
Yes.
See yourself as a business owner.
Yes.
And one of the themes that I think can be very useful for entrepreneurs to look at is many of us, the past 6 months, we're running, trying to get things across, and then winter comes, especially in retail, and becomes very problematic. One of the most important aspects for a business owner is to take the time out to think on your business.
Yes.
And one of the ways to conceptualize it is to think hypothetically.
Yes.
If I was to have this business one day have 5,000 franchisees or 5,000 outlets, what would I potentially need to start changing today? It's very difficult for us to be thinking, I can be a business owner with 5,000 outlets. But you'll never get there if you don't even think and strategize about it.
Absolutely.
So it's in the same way when you've gotten to the point where it's mid-year, is to take the time and just think, if one day this was going to be multiple outlets, what would I actually need to change today? And you spend the time thinking about it because you're the person who will know what needs to be changed.
I love that because I think you're also challenging us to start to think about our future selves and our future business.
Yeah.
And start showing up as that today.
Yes.
Sure, that's so powerful. Thank you so much for that. And as entrepreneurs, we get so consumed in the here and now that we forget about the tomorrow. So that's very, very valuable insights. I'm looking forward to the conversation that we are about to have. The entrepreneur that's with us today is Maemu Maphutha. She is the founder of Bellas Gelato. And I love it because it's not every day that you find an entrepreneur who's got an ice cream brand. So that for me is very exciting. We've had her exhibiting at the Entrepreneurs Year End. huge success. People loved the ice cream. It was a massive, massive success. So, welcome to the conversation.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Harity, and thank you so much, Papa Biz. I'm so glad to be finally here. I'm really
Yes.
glad.
No,
Thank you.
Good,
absolutely.
and we're very glad to have you as well.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. It's such a pleasure to have you. Not every day that you meet an entrepreneur who's got an ice cream brand. So I have to find out what inspired this.
Oh, wow. The gelato journey.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what a journey. So, like what you've said, that it's not every day where you find an entrepreneur who's got an ice cream brand.
Yes.
That is exactly what inspired me. At first, I didn't know anything about gelato. All I knew, the best ice cream that I knew was McFlurry. I'm not gonna lie. I knew that the best ice cream, you have to find it in McDonald's, and it's McFlurry.
Yes.
I mean, when I think of ice cream, I think of Country Fresh. You people don't know.
Yes. Oh, others, the old, the Polar one or the Woolworth one, like it's been trending and all that. So when I got introduced to gelato, it was my friend who also happened to be my business partner.
Okay.
So when I said to her, okay, friend, let's open up an ice cream business. She said, my friend, there's something that is called gelato. I had traveled and I tasted it. I'm like, what is that? She gave me a homework to say that, Maemu, go around Johannesburg and look for gelato. And unfortunately, at that time in Johannesburg, there was no
Very
gelato.
few. Yes, yes.
I went to so many shops. I think that was in 2018. And all I could find was ice cream. There's difference between ice cream and gelato.
Yeah, what is the difference between ice cream and gelato?
With ice cream has a high fat in content. It has high sugar.
Okay.
And also the flavors, they don't taste the same, and the texture.
Okay.
I always refer to gelato as the last number, as the Ferrari of the ice cream, of the frozen desserts.
Yes.
Because with the gelato, the texture is different, and also the flavors. We use the real ingredients.
Okay.
If, let's say, for instance, we want to make lemon sorbet. When I was working in, I saw the lemons.
You saw the lemons there?
Yes.
That's me,
I'm
thank
like,
you.
I'm like, oh, I could just pick up these lemons
Yes.
and make a lemon sorbet.
Yes.
So that is what we use with gelato. We use real ingredients. We don't
love
cut
that.
corners.
Okay.
So when I went around looking for gelato and I couldn't find it, I ended up coming here to Pretoria, and the first stop was here in Pretoria East.
Okay.
And that is where I found gelato. And also I found that it's more like there are no black people that are actually producing ice cream.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I want to break those barriers
Yes.
and get into that niche market, because I
Yes.
saw that as much as the frozen dessert industry market is oversaturated and it's very difficult to get into, but the gelato one,
Yes.
There's still opportunity there.
there's still a lot of
opportunity.
opportunity.
Wow.
And very few black people are doing that. And I was like, oh, I want to be one of the first black people to do that. I would really love to. And I never looked back from there.
So I want to check, I mean, for you, growing up, if you have to think about it, were you entrepreneurial? Was your family entrepreneurial? Were there other things that you thought of? Or, how did you get to the point where at this moment in time you thought, okay, let's explore this ice cream dessert option here?
Growing up, I grew up back in the villages, in the deep villages of Limpopo. Venda, Haluvimbi, in a village called Haluvimbi. I'm a village girl.
Okay.
So I grew up with my grandmother. She was a teacher. My grandmother was a teacher. And also she was an entrepreneur. At that time, she had a spaza shop. And guess who was in charge of the spaza shop? For me, at that time, to be quite honest, I hated each and every moment of it, because I felt as if like she was depriving me an opportunity to go out to the streets and play,
And play
with
with other
kids,
children.
because I was the one running the spaza shop.
Yeah.
Every time when I came back from school, I knew that my shift to spaza shop will start. When the
Yes.
lady who runs the spaza shop, when she was at work,
Yes.
then I would have to fill in for her. And on top of that, she also had a business of sewing our vendor traditional clothes.
Oh,
Okay, the clothing, yeah.
Yes, and I had to be responsible for the sales.
oh my goodness.
Like
so
when
you
this,
had adult responsibilities
yes,
early on.
yeah. So whenever the schools were closed, remember back in the days when it comes to the pensioners grants.
Yes.
They never used to get it like from the banks and stuff. They would go to a certain place where they would queue. It's more like a marketplace. That was more of a
Yes.
marketplace.
Yes.
So each and every time when it's grant day, I knew that we are taking those traditional attires, we're going there to sell. So that is how I got into entrepreneurship.
Okay.
So in 2014, when I got retrenched, I had a business,
Yes.
but it was a different one. It was
Okay.
not the gelato one. I was into clothing. I was into online clothing.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
okay.
the kids' clothing.
Ah.
Yes. So when I got retrenched, I didn't even feel it. I felt as if it was a relief because I felt as if it was holding me back
Yes.
to
Yes.
really pursue what I wanted to
Yes,
do.
and focus on
Yes.
business.
Then gelato came and I took it
Sure.
from there.
I love that. You know, in the beginning, when we start something new, sometimes it comes with challenges. You see the unique opportunity, you see the opportunity in the market that you can take advantage of, but sometimes we come across challenges that we are not expecting. What are some of the early challenges that you experienced in your business that you had to overcome?
I think one of the biggest challenges was that I was the only first black person in Johannesburg to actually start the gelato business.
Okay.
Sure.
And to be quite honest, it was so hard to get into this industry because each and everywhere where I went to, it's more like there was just closing doors for me.
And not
Closing,
open to hearing from you.
yes, like I didn't even have anyone I could run to say, okay, where do I even begin? What do I
Yes.
do?
Yes.
I was even prepared to go to as far as Italy to get training because
Really?
there was nobody who was willing to help
Willing.
me.
My goodness.
There was no one. Like I couldn't find help. But eventually there was this nice lady, God bless her, and she opened up her door for me. And she was like, you know what? Provided that you're going to be stocking some of the ingredients from me, I am going to plug you with the suppliers,
Yes.
everything. So when I went to when she referred me to the guy
Yeah.
who actually has the rights of reselling the equipments, the Capajani
Yes.
equipments.
Yes.
These are like Italian equipments.
Okay.
So this guy, he sells them. He's a distributor here. So when I got there, I was like, I want to start the gelato business.
Yes.
And he said to me, do you know anything about gelato? I said, no, I don't know much. I have never.
Yes.
I don't know. I've tasted it, but I like it. And he said,
Yes.
okay, because you're buying all these equipments, we're buying quite a lot of equipments. He said, okay, it's okay. The Kapajani said that they're going to send their chef because we were actually too, there was this other Indian guy who was also starting a gelato business. Said they're going to send, instead of us traveling there, because we've spent a lot of money, they're going to
Yes.
send their chef to come and do the training for us.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
They did. So
Sure.
yeah, that was really a challenge, but it also came with so many blessings. Also, the other challenge was breaking into the market. A lot of consumers, they're not really familiar with gelato. To them, ice cream is
Yes.
ice cream.
Ice cream is, yes.
Yes, and when it comes to pricing, gelato and ice cream, they don't.
It's different.
Yes, it's totally different. So when they come to you, they'll, okay, what is this? What is so special about your product that you charge this amount?
Yeah.
So educating consumers about the product also, it was one of
Yes.
the biggest challenges.
Yes. Yes.
And also there's just so much that happens behind the whole product. It's not only about perfecting the product.
Yes.
Also, there were things like marketing, the
Yes.
food
Of course, the marketing,
handling,
Yes, even the
food
packaging,
safety.
you've got such
Exactly.
beautiful packaging.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the food handling and all those things. So, yeah, it was a big challenge, but we overcame.
So if I can check, I mean, in the beginning, obviously it's a new space that you enter into. If you're looking back, just growing this business, what type of entrepreneurial lesson do you think surprised you as you were looking to grow this?
The biggest one was that having a great product doesn't guarantee sales.
Oh my
Say it again.
goodness. Say that
Say it
Having
again.
a great
again.
product doesn't guarantee a sale.
That is so powerful.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's the mistake that a lot of us as entrepreneurs make. We always want to perfect the product. We always want to perfect it so much that we forget to sell. We forget to put it out there for people to see. You just
Yes.
have this great product and you're just sitting with it. I remember at some point, I also felt like that. I was so frustrated. I said, you know what? I can guarantee you I have a very good product. I make the best sorbets and all that. But it wasn't there. People didn't know about me. They didn't know.
Yes,
So there were no
yes.
sales because people didn't know. As much
Yes.
as I have the great product, but people didn't know about it.
And it's such a big challenge.
It is.
How do you deal? Because I mean, we've reached the midpoint of the year, and a lot of us are reflecting on the next 6 months. That's actually our theme for the month. And sometimes when you encounter these challenges, it can have an impact on your mindset. Another person can decide, you know what, I'm going to close the business, do something different. But to have that resilience to keep going, what are some of the things that you do for yourself personally as an entrepreneur to help you keep going when times are challenging?
I'm not going to lie. The first one I do, I crash out.
Okay.
I do. I do have a lot of crash outs.
Yeah.
I crash out, I cry, and I go in my prayer room.
Yeah.
And I always remember why I started.
Yes.
I always remember the reason why I started this business, and I go back to the one who started this. I'm a firm believer of the scripture that says that he who began a good thing in your life will
Yes.
bring it to completion.
Yes.
Sure.
So I always go back to that scripture to say that God, you are the one who said, I must start this. You led me. I made you the foundation of my business.
Yes.
And I know that those who look up unto him, their faces will be covered with radiance and will never be covered with shame.
Yes.
So I think also I think also what we need to do, we need to remember that this is not a race. We are not in competition with anyone.
Yes.
When that happens, you are allowed to crash out. You are allowed to cry.
Yes.
But don't spend too much time focusing on the negative.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You need to pick yourself up and focus on the bigger picture, on your long-term goals.
Absolutely.
Not even in terms of with the bigger picture. I mean, we spoke earlier, and we'll get into it in terms of, you know, you were at the Entrepreneurs Year End with us last year, where you were exhibiting, and you explained afterwards in terms of the amount of connections that you got and the different events that you've collaborated with individuals from there. When you get to the halfway point in the year, what things do you look at that communicate to you, I mean, the right direction, or things are challenging? So would that be in terms of the revenue that's being made? Would that be in terms of the amount of events or the collaborators? What do you look at in your business when you get halfway and think, okay, I'm on the right track, we can do this, or you get there halfway and you can see if we need to change track very aggressively?
I look at the numbers because numbers never lie. True. Yes. But that's not the only thing that I look at. I also look at the partnership.
Okay.
What partnership have I formed? Like I was saying, last year I attended the year-end function,
Yes.
and I am so glad that I did.
Yeah.
I would encourage each and every entrepreneur to attend that. I would encourage each and every entrepreneur to partner with the year end, because I am telling you, you will reap a lot of benefits.
Okay.
I am reaping a lot of benefits.
Okay, how so?
When I went there, I remember the day it rained so bad.
It did.
I was crashing out. It was going it was going so bad for me that everything was just not so going well. I remember the whole setup was supposed to be outdoor setup,
Yes.
a very cute cart
Yes.
with the mirrors and stuff.
Yes.
But then I had to change the complete setup in the early hours of the morning because it was raining. And
Yes.
also remember, when it comes to the frozen dessert, a lot of people always have this mentality that you can't really have ice cream when it's raining or when it's
When it's cold, yes.
We
Yes, so
associate it with warm weather.
yes. So I'm like, okay, did I just bring this dessert for nothing? It means people, they won't get to taste our dessert and they won't know that we've got great products.
Yeah.
But no, it didn't go like that. People actually loved the product. And also the connections that I made there. Oh my goodness, I'm really yielding great results today. I think it was 2 weeks after the year-end function, I went back to the very same venue as a paid vendor.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Look at that.
And I was catering.
Monetizing.
Yes. And I was catering for the Macmillan year-end function.
Oh, wow.
I think it was around 300 people.
Wow. Look at you.
Yes. Then from there again, I went back. Beginning of this year, I think it was in February. Went with one of the most influential people. In the food industry, cooking with Zanele, the lazy Makoti.
Oh, wow.
That was like a very big project for
Oh, wow,
us.
geez.
Yes.
And then from there, I've also partnered with one of the greatest event planners, the Fortress venue, Ino. Oh, God
Sure.
bless her.
Yes.
And also Sikhes, a lot of event planners, they reached out to me.
Really?
Amazing.
Yes, through that. Recently, we just did the pedal exchange which was a huge success.
Yes.
And when I look back, it's all coming from
Yeah.
the year end.
Yeah.
Sure, I'm
yeah.
busy getting goosebumps. It's always
Yes.
to get this feedback, because sometimes, I mean, for us, we set the event up. We know what it was like being an exhibitor at a place where people are not that well versed in terms of elevating those who are exhibiting. But to get this type of feedback, it's unbelievable. I mean, we joke sometimes where it's in terms of as entrepreneurs. Sometimes the journey is very lonely.
Yes.
You're on your own and you're trying to take guidance, but the journey can be so lonely. And then for us, because it gets so lonely, we take all the stress to have 400 or 500 entrepreneurs come and join us for a year end.
Yeah.
So this is great to hear this feedback.
Yeah, when you do that, just remember that the journey is not only on your side, also with us.
Yes.
It's very lonely. It can really get so lonely.
Yes, yes.
But when we gather in one place as entrepreneurs and share our journey, our stories, it really makes a huge difference. And that is where partnerships and connections are made.
Very, very important. For me, in fact, what you've just shared is so heartwarming, because we've always wanted the year end to be a platform where people can plant seeds and that are going to actually grow and germinate even after the event. And this is what you're sharing with us. So that is absolutely amazing. I want to tap into your brain in terms of the future for Bellas Gelato. When we build these businesses, there's a vision that we have in our mind in terms of where we see the business going. What is that vision? What is that picture you see in your mind?
The Gelato Academy.
Ha!
It's something that is really in my heart.
That is
That's the
fascinating.
vision.
Please tell us more.
Yes, the Gelato Academy. Still, even today, even in the year 2026, there are still very few Black people that are in the ice cream industry. there are still very few people that are in the frozen dessert industry. Those that are there, they're the ones that are buying from the retailers. But the ones that are producing it,
Few.
they are very few.
Sure.
So I would really love to bring that to life, to have the Gelato Academy,
That's
where we
lovely.
will train people
Yes.
to acquire skills with regard to gelato making
Yes.
from scratch, not to just sell you like the pre-made powders, then you go and
Yeah.
mix. No, to
Learning
actually
the craft, the art of
yes, the
gelato making.
craft, yes, the art of gelato making from scratch, developing your own recipes, your own flavors, and all that.
Sure.
Now, I want to check something that's been on my mind. So, when I look at the different markets in my mind, I'm thinking that there's opportunity. Some go and open their own store somewhere in a mall. Obviously, that's quite expensive. There are others that would look to go and supply to other, let's say, restaurants and things like that. And then, what I'm hearing from you also, it's in terms of, forming partnerships, events, and things of the sort. Which way have you used to grow and why?
Um, I can say I've used them all.
Okay.
I love that.
I've used them all. When I studied in a mall.
Okay.
I had a shop in a mall.
Uh-huh.
We opened our very first store in 2019.
Was this in Joburg?
Yes, in Campus Square. It was a student mall.
Okay.
Yes, we went there to that center. The idea was to open back in Limpopo, in my home village.
Okay.
But then when I got an opportunity to open here in Joburg, I'm like, okay, let me start by Joburg. I went and I opened there. And I remember when we started, a lot of people were discouraging me, saying, no, we've had like an ice cream kiosk here. They never lasted. There's no market. We've had the frozen yogurt, but they only lasted for a month. But I was like, I'm going there.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I went there and it was a huge success.
Really?
Wow.
I am telling you. I remember when we started, our scoop, one scoop was 27 rand. Remember we were selling to students?
Yes.
And people were so fascinated about it. And they would come and say, okay, what is this? Like, they
Oh,
always
this is
want, yes.
amazing.
And we were doing very well. We had 24 monthlies. We were doing very well. It was just unfortunate that COVID happened in
Hey, COVID.
2020.
Yes, it disrupted
And when it
everything.
happened, like I said, the Campus Square Mall, it's a student, it's
Yes.
Campus Square.
Yes.
It caters mostly for the students.
Yeah.
Yes.
So at that time, a lot of students were attending online.
Online, they
So
were
meaning now the mall is empty.
Yes.
Empty, there's no
But
feet.
even in that situation, we had opened also another kiosk in Eastgate Mall.
Okay.
So the Eastgate Mall was doing very well.
Wow.
It was doing very well, and we were able to balance things.
Yes.
So when our lease ended in 2021, we decided that no, let's not renew it all because this whole thing of COVID, we don't know when it's gonna end.
Yeah. So
So,
it's very uncertain times.
Yeah, it was very uncertain times. So we didn't want to take chances of saying, okay, we're gonna sign another lease of 3 years only to find that the mall is still empty. And we still supply restaurants.
Okay.
Brilliant.
We still supply restaurants. We still do the wholesale. We
Yes.
still do the retail. We also supply some of the caterers and also some of the ice cream stores.
Lovely. So that they
Yes.
can expand their offering.
Yes, and we've also worked with some of the biggest restaurants in Johannesburg.
Oh wow.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
Sure, that's multiple opportunities, multiple streams to be able to receive
Yes.
income in that type of business.
Yes, so you really get to have multiple streams of income because you can sell to direct to people like we do.
Yes.
Like now we do like the home deliveries. We
Yes.
do events. We also do the wholesale where we supply to the restaurants, to the hospitality industry.
Yes.
And also, with in terms to the retail, we only had 2 spas that we were supplying to. And it was because remember, when you do this thing of retail, you first have to go through the buyers. We only
Yes.
went directly to the managers of those spas. Then they took in our product. So now we are starting from scratch with regard to that and to get our product in the retail stores again.
That is
That's very good.
wonderful. That's wonderful. I think what I really admire about you is your openness to partner with others. You know, in business, if you do it on your own, there's only so far you can get.
That is
But
so true.
when you actually make a decision to partner with other people, there's so much more leverage that you can make. Just looking a little bit in closing, if somebody is watching this as an entrepreneur, what is your biggest advice that you would give to them based on your own journey?
My advice will be never give up. Don't give up, no matter what happens. Or if you fall, just dust off the dust and get back on your feet.
Yes.
I think as entrepreneurs, we've all had moments where we felt that it's over. I will share my personal journey with regard to the campus square. Remember, I did mention that it was the COVID times.
Yes.
So our rent was quite expensive. We were paying over 20 grand.
20?
Yes, we were
That's a
paying
lot.
over 20
Every single
grand.
month?
Yes,
Yeah.
every single month, including the utilities. And during that period when the students were not there, we couldn't pay that amount. Of
course.
We were paying half. Then also remember there was a lockdown. I think it happened in March. March, April, May, June, July. We went to reopen in September
Yeah.
our store. And all this month they were charging us rent.
Goodness. And it's adding up.
Yes, it was just adding up. So by the time our lease ended, we were in huge debt.
I can
Yeah,
imagine.
I can imagine. And the stress of that.
Yes.
One doesn't even sleep.
We were in huge debt, and I remember going to them saying, I just want you to give me a batch freezer and this big freezer so that I'll be able to pay. They didn't want to, but for some reason, they agreed. They gave me that, and I used that to fight. We really fought. And now when I look back, I'm like, we really fought a good fight.
Sure.
Because that is when we started with the events.
Okay.
With the markets to be able to repay back that debt.
Sure.
So we never gave up. So I would
see.
say when you fall, don't allow to stay down. Get back on your feet.
Sure.
And also go back to the foundation and check what is it that I can improve. What is it that I can also introduce? Don't only focus on creating a great product.
Yes.
Also focus on sales.
Yes.
Don't neglect marketing. Even in those times when the business is very slow, but still stay visible. Be visible on social media. What I've noticed now is that people buy from the people they know.
True.
They don't do like the traditional thing that we used to do where you would
Yes.
walk into the store and buy.
100%.
Now they support the people that they know.
Yes.
For them to know you, you need to be visible also on social media.
Yes, 100%. Sure, that's a very powerful reflection. I'm interested in your reflection, Papa, based on the conversation that we've had. What are the things that are coming up for you?
Hey, the strongest thing that's come out for me, it's another reminder, the importance that if you think that a business will be made because you've got a great product, you haven't started in business.
That is true.
You know, a lot of times from the outside, one will think if I can just get the right product and the perfect type of product, then I'll have the perfect type of business. And as you've spoken about it, you know, to be in business, maybe that's step number one, if at all. It's not even the most important, actually. Sales, marketing,
Yes.
being visible, being open to partnerships. And sometimes, unfortunately, when you're pushed into a corner, a very deep corner, it can be extremely challenging. And at the same time, only when you're pushed into that type of place, it forces the mind to start thinking of options in a creative manner in terms of how do I get out of this,
Yes.
which you never actually would have if everything was going comfortable.
That is so
And
true.
now when I hear you talk about the different avenues that business comes through, I mean, it's a great business. There's still, of course, scope to grow. But I mean, there's so many different avenues for which income can come through and that the business can be monetized, which is really great compared to when you started off and in the beginning.
Yes.
So that's commendable in terms of growth as an entrepreneur and something that I want to commend you for.
Absolutely. Sure. I love that. If a person would like to purchase the Bellas Gelato, I know you do home deliveries as well. How can they go about doing that? And also your social media handles.
Our social media handle on Instagram is at Bellas Gelato ZA. They can just click the link on the bio. Then they will be able to purchase our products. On Facebook, we are at Bellas Gelato ZA. Also on TikTok, we are Bellas Gelato ZA. They can also send us an email to bellascreamybar@gmail.com.
I love that. I love that. I think for me, my biggest takeaway is the resilience that you've displayed in your journey. In entrepreneurship, we've got our plans, of course, and then life has its own plans.
That
And
is so
sometimes
true.
things are going well and something unexpected like COVID happens, and you need to reroute, you need to replan, you need to pivot. And it's okay if you have moments where we crash out. We are human
Yes.
beings.
We are human beings.
We must feel the feelings. But then
Yeah.
once we've done that, we dust ourselves off and we continue and we start again. And
Yes.
so I really appreciate your transparency in sharing that, because anybody else who's going through that can know that they're not alone in that. So thank you so much. It's been such a beautiful conversation.
Thank you for having me.
Monetizers, that brings us to the end of today's conversation. Please share your own aha moments with us. Tell us what really stood out for you and tell us how it's going for you in the planning for your next 6 months ahead. You're hearing from fellow entrepreneurs, their mindset strategies, how they're planning for the next 6 months. We want to hear from you within the comment section in terms of what are the things you are going to be focusing on for the next 6 months to make sure that you end off the year on a strong note. Now, don't forget to plug into all of our social media platforms. It's at Monetize Your Business. And of course, we'll see you on the ground at our workshops and our online masterclass webinars. Until the next conversation, bye-bye.